Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to introduce you to your new best friends, Icecube Trays. They save you time when prepping your dog's meals and save you money too. They literally are a game changer when it comes to adding variety to every meal you serve your dog. So how on earth can these cheap little trays do all this, I hear you ask? Stick with me and I'll explain, and while I'm at it, give you some tips and some ideas and a few recipes to try at home. Well, no matter what style of feeding or type of food you feed your dog, there's always room to boost each bowl's nutritional content. And well, dogs like variety. Who wants to eat the same meal day in and day out? So let's get stuck into it. My first pro tip, go to Kmart or your $2 store and pick up half a dozen cheap trays. Once they have the food in them, they tend to absorb the smell. And the last thing you want to do is pour yourself a nice G&T and your ice cubes make it taste like sardines. Keep these trays solely for your dog's dinners. Trust me, I've done this and I was sad to see my gin poured down the sink. You can fill your trays up with such a huge variety of foods, everything from those sardines that I'm still slightly resentful of, to kefir, bone broth, even mashed banana. Today I will go through a list of foods that are safe for your dog to eat as well as be incredibly good for them. I've listed them all for you below. Next pro tip, saving yourself some money. A lot of these bowl boosting cubes will be fruit and vegetable based. I have found that buying these types of ingredients when in season is obviously going to be cheaper. My local fruit store marks down a lot of sad limp prawn juice, and I usually buy these for their cooked veggie mix. I make them once a month. It's a meal batch. We have another video about this topic, so check that one out later. Okay, here is a selection of foods that we're talking about today. We've got our wonderful prawn head pate, mango, some old avocado, and we're going to talk about some chia seeds over here. Beautiful. If you come across, say, pumpkins for 20 cents a kilo, grab them, cook them down, and again, use your trays to freeze them. Okay, as you can see, pumpkin's being cooked in the microwave. You're going to have pumpkin for months this way. Simply mash it up with a fork. Had the family over for dinner and you've got some leftover cooked veggies, don't bin them, pop them all into a bowl, mash them and pop them into your trays. With this cost-saving tip, make sure they're just the plain veggies. Make sure there's no gravies or sauces and definitely no onion. Onion is very toxic to dogs and you'll have one very sick doggo if you feed them this. Beautiful leftover cooked veggies. I just chucked all these in a pot just to make them a little bit softer, added some more water. So, got a squidgy avocado that's gone a bit brown, leftovers, don't waste them. There is nothing wrong with brown avocados. They're still nutrient dense and packed full of beautiful oils. Very, very good for dogs. Don't throw them out. Mash them with a fork. As you can see, brown is not bad. Don't worry about the colour, it's still nutrient dense. Don't waste any of that beautiful flesh. Next up is my gin and tonic destroyer, tin sardines. Make sure the one's in spring water, not oil. Okay, this tin is too big to feed my 5 kilo Dachshund in 1 or 2 meals, and once opened it will make my fridge smell. So what do? Icecube trays. Next up is the sardines. Make sure again that they are the ones in spring water, not oil. Use the spring water as well. And again, give them a hard time with a fork. My dogs absolutely love this. While I'm at it in the seafood bit, this one's a literal life changer, a completely free way to really boost your dog's bowls. Prawn heads. What I hear you saying, once you've enjoyed your cooked prawn feast, you'll have a pile of heads and shells to make your rubbish bin smell. Don't waste them. Simply pop them in a food processor and blender, with some water and blitz them into a runny goop. It's prawn head pate. It looks terrible, but trust me, the nutrients found in these leftover bits would astound you. May look and smell not that great, but your dogs will love it. Prawn head pate. Okay, as you can see, left over from our Christmas feast that we had, all I did was, again, pop them in the blender. You get this beautiful paste that's like a pate, full of nutrients. Next up is marked down parsley, or in this instance, we had a stack of it growing in our garden, so we've got heaps to spare. That's a really, really good addition to your dog's food. And parsley is full of iron, antioxidants, and it helps to freshen their breath. Okay, here's my beautiful flat leaf parsley. All I did was stick it in a bay mix and just give it a bit of a hard time with that. Just minced up, beautiful. Okay, mash the mangoes with a fork like so. Slippery suckers. And I like to add just a little bit of coconut milk just to make it delicious. And also get all those beautiful oils in there. Okay, so the most important thing to remember with chia seeds is they can't be digested when they're in this inert state. They need to be activated, which means basically just soaked. So my favourite go-to for soaking my chia seeds in is coconut milk or coconut cream. You can do coconut water as well, but I love a little bit of extra oils in my dog's diets. So just give that a bit of a mix. So, and let it sit for about 5 minutes, well, 5 or 10 minutes, doesn't matter, around about that. And then when they've puffed up, into the ice cube trays. Okay, magic of editing, 5 minutes later. See, beautiful jelly. Blueberries, when in season, are fairly cheap. I love to blend these up with some coconut water or coconut milk. Okay, blueberries, all I've done here is add a little bit of water to these. They're pretty hard to mash. So the water just holds them together and makes the ice cube shape. Make sure they're in season because they're cheap that way. And next up is my crunchy omelette. No ice cube trays for this one, but it's so good I could not leave it out. Simply whisk up some eggs. I use 24 eggs per batch and it fits into my fry pan perfectly. Don't waste those shells. They're packed full of calcium and minerals and contribute to their daily calcium requirements. All you need to do is crush them up. I use a rolling pin and a plastic bag. Pop the egg mix into a non-stick pan and allow it to cook halfway through, and then add your eggshells on the top. That way they don't sink to the bottom. Okay, crunchy omelette. As you can see, the eggshells are on the top. Just need to cut it into bite-sized pieces like so. You can see why I call it crunchy. Here we go, little individual serves, and then just store them in Ziploc bags. Obviously a lot bigger than this, but you get the idea. In the freezer, separate. Fabulous. Next up is an always on in our house bone broth. Simply mix it up with boiling water and pour it into your trays. We've done an entire video on this topic. Check out the link below as well for this one. Bone broth is a wonderful boost to help build the gut microbiome, and it really is a wonderful superfood that helps mitigate the swelling associated with joint issues like arthritis. Sorry to everyone else that's watching outside of Australia, we do not ship our bone broth internationally. That being said, you can make your own. Right, next up is our beautiful bone broth. All you need to do is pop the kettle on. I'm just going to make up 1 cup today, not 2, so I'm not using a complete heaped tablespoon. You get the idea, so it's about that much that's going in there. The powder. Now the key to this is just giving it a really good whisk. Measuring up to 1 cup. There we go. Smells like roast beef. Yum. Yep, that's pretty well mixed in. And then just pour it into your Icecube trays. You can pop fruit and things like that in these as well if you wanted to. A question that I'm asked a lot is, can dogs eat frozen or really cold foods? The short answer is absolutely yes, but I have found that our 4 Dashies prefer their cubes to be semi-frozen, not rock hard. All I do is I go to my freezer, select nice dinner additions, pop them on a plate and allow them to thaw for a little bit. The little ones like kefir turn into a puddle, so keep an eye on them. Serve when al dente. And here you have it, all of the gorgeous little cubes. I'm so excited by all the colour. The idea is diversification is key. You can add any of these cubes on any day of the week. Always mix it up and have different things in rotation. Look at them, gorgeous.